Severe weather possible this afternoon. A 40% chance for rain and thunderstorms today with a high at 91. That same 40% for tonight, with some of the storms possibly being strong to severe and a low at 64. Sunny at 87 Wednesday. With news on 103.9 WIAB, I'm Chris Davis.
You get the combination of daytime heating and effects of the front coming through to organize those storms.
National Weather Service forecaster Nicholas Fenner describing the setup for today. That will give us a 2 in 5 chance for strong storms that could contain hail, damaging winds, and possibly tornadoes. It was a tornado in Carroll County early Sunday just after 3 a.m., says the National Weather Service. The EF1 had winds of 105 miles per hour, was 1,100 yards wide, and was on the ground for more than 14 miles. People are dealing with downed trees and power lines, damaged houses, some because of the trees, and all the rigmarole that goes along with that.
It's concerning. It's problematic because this happened across the street from an elementary school. School was in session.
A man shot and killed near Green Elementary about 2 p.m. Monday. That school is in the north part of Jackson, just south of 220. Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade says they need help identifying whomever is responsible. As many as 450 jobs may be coming to Ridgeland and southern Madison County. The Board of Supervisors Monday approved a 45% tax break for a new $42 million health care facility, which has not yet been named publicly. But the deal has to be done by the end of the month for them to get that tax break, which will last for 10 years. The average price for gas in Mississippi is now $2.64 per gallon, says Gas Buddy. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away,
And good morning, everyone. It is, what day of the week is it? It's Wednesday. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Here on the program, I am, of course, Chip Matthews. Taylor will be out today. Issues going on with her, some things going on. Also, she's still running for office, so y'all remember that if you're going out to vote today, because you can go absentee vote today. Yes, you can go put that vote in the tank to make sure that you get it in, because many of you, the 80% of you that do not go vote, need to be addressed today. You need to get up and go vote. I mean, you know, it's going to rain later today. Get up, go do it before noon, go vote in Canton, and vote in Jackson, vote in wherever, there's ballots out. I wonder if there's absentee voting going on in Ridgeland on the ballot initiative. I guess so. Or not the ballot initiative, but they want to pass the Parks bill where they can tax everybody that comes through and eats in Ridgeland, put another 1 cent on food for a temporary time to build a park. And, it's sad to know that it just failed in November and they voted to put it back on the ballot again. And, that's not really, I mean, is that good government? I don't know. Anita Ford, good morning to you. Good morning. How do y'all feel about that? Y'all give me a call, 601-879-0002. Do you want to pay another penny on the dollar to get a improvement at a park? Or wouldn't that penny on the dollar go better to fix some more roads, hire another police officer? There are other things that need to be happening in these areas than that. And I was riding by the hotels that are there on the County Line Road at the beginning. across from the Hilton and looking at them all boarded up and everything. I'm going, what's the plan? What's the plan? I mean, I'm glad they're boarded up now because, those hotels, some of them were hooker havens and stuff like that. But what is the plan for that part of Ridgeland? Ridgeland needs to address County Line Road to Harbor Drive to Old Canton Road. All that is a bunch of apartment complexes that are 50 years old at least, all up and through there. And it's the deterioration of the area is going down. You ever lose the North Park Mall, you got a bigger problem. And you think about that corridor from there to the reservoir where the dock used to be. That's probably the most traveled area in town. Everybody's going to the reservoir. Why wouldn't you build a park up there on the edge of the reservoir? Something that way. Work with Pearl River Valley Water Authority to build a water park or something like that. Something that people from the Tri-County area would go to enjoy. I mean, the massive apartment complex deal that was going to be built there years ago. Well, that did not happen. And we lost the dock, a good entertainment area. People want more out of their government than nothing. And it's like, for instance, in Canton, where I'm running for office, I came up with the best way I went to the city council meeting last night. It was a work session. And I was just listening, and I was listening to them argue over somebody had issued a purchase order. Now, they were trying to decide the guy that spent the money at the Piggly Wiggly. This was like an ordeal. Spent the money at the Piggly Wiggly to buy water and some cookout food for employees from the city on flea market day. Okay, $270. We got a lot of high-priced talent in the room, and we're talking about $270. Now, my question is, who issued the PO? Who's issuing the purchase orders? Why are you arguing with the guy who went and bought it and cooked it and took care of the employees for the day, which I think is a good thing to do. But then again, it's another work day. It's not a special day. I mean, you probably need water to make sure everybody working stays hydrated because the flea market is hot outside and this, that, and the other. But to be arguing over $270 and then you're looking at the man like, well, you're going to have to pay that back out of your pocket. And I'm going, somebody issued the PO, the purchase order. And if everybody can issue POs in Canton, then there's your problem. But it doesn't seem that they know those things. Then there was another guy that had a chainsaw, bought a chainsaw for the city. And they asked him, is it tagged? Does it have an inventory tag on it? Do we know where it's at? And he goes, no, it's in my truck. And you're going, excuse me, that's not the way to do this. And I mean, this is stuff that we're at the end of the Truly administration, or hopefully we're at the end of the Truly administration. And he doesn't know where stuff is and where it's coming from. They don't know where dollars go. It's sort of like listening to the county when the county last night, they're on TV talking about the $11,000 they collected on past due tickets that had been issued. And then I go, well, you're still not talking about the $2.7 million you lost. You fired some people last week for losing $3,000, but because of relations to people that were in the department on the $2.7 million, and nobody been fired, nobody's been reprimanded, nobody, maybe y'all need to understand the difference between. That's the problem with government. I guess they don't know what $2.7 million looks like and what $11,000. They don't know which figure's the bigger figure, and the $3,000 at the lowest level of those three things that were going on, the lowest level, they fired those employees after they did lie detector tests, which I didn't think lie detector tests were admissible. I know they're not admissible in court, but I guess they're admissible in Canton court or in Madison County supervisor court. But then again, remember, we had supervisors who did not vote to fire the employees, And the statement was, I cannot be a part of voting for the firing when we don't give the same treatment to family members who work and get caught making financial mistakes and they're still employed. You know, what a world we live in, where everybody does everything. And so when I look at the upcoming election for me, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about this all day today. We're going to talk about elections, and I want anybody out there to call in and talk about them, because the elections are now 2 Tuesdays away. This not next Tuesday, but the next Tuesday is the election. And right now for me, I look at it as time and opportunity. I'm not running against Tim Taylor or any of the people that are currently in office. I don't want any of those people to feel like I'm attacking them in any way, because a lot of what has gone on was manipulated by lawyers, by outside sources, and of course, Mayor Truly has been trying to destroy the city since 1972, and it's done a pretty good job. But time and opportunity right now is the only thing that we have going for us in Canton. The time and opportunity for me to be in office is now, because we have one more chance to rebuild the community. We have a chance to make Canton great again. I mean, I hate to steal somebody else's logo, but that's exactly right. I mean, we're going to have all this money come into Canton, and we need small businesses, and we need the property values. We need more houses built. All of that just to take care of the people that are moving in at Amazon and at the Coca-Cola plant and all of that that's at the mega site. And there's more coming to the mega site. And it's going to be, it is a huge, huge, huge opportunity, basically from the North Canton exit, which a lot of people don't know that there's a North Canton exit. But anyway, from there back, all that property is going to be valuable and needs to be houses and homes and communities. And we just got to get ahead. We got to get ahead and start taking care of the people. We need to build everything we need, but we also need to take the time to make sure that the corridor going into the square and the square, all of our businesses are full. And I think I can fill those businesses. We're going to take a break. We'll talk about some more about that right after this on the Chip Matthews Show right here on WYAB.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi.
Hey, this is Ben Ingram from the Braves Radio Network. We're in commercial right now, so I want to let my sister take over and tell you about Hometown Property Group.
Thanks, Ben. This is Mary Claire Putman with Hometown Property Group. Whether you're buying or selling, we are committed to guiding you through your real estate transaction with integrity, exceptional service, and remarkable results. Madison County has been my home for 40 years. I'd love to help make it yours, too.
That's Hometown Property Group. Give them a call at 601-853-6080.
It can be hard to move past the guilt, times of weakness, and regret, knowing you weren't there for your family when they needed you the most. But there is life after addiction. We're seeing broken families restored, one man at a time, through our vehicle, cash, and thrift store donations. It's given Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge the ability to help these men succeed in having better lives. Donate a vehicle, running or not, and we'll come pick it up. Call today, 601-572-7296, or visit us at vehicledonationsms.com.
Get the jump on the season at the #1 stop for all your boating and custom water sports needs, Smith Marine. Crest pontoons are here. Come experience luxury and style with a 90-day, no payment, no interest financing option with approved credit, plus a 1-year Seato membership, free cover, free Bimini top, and free inflatable tube. And these crests are pre-rigged with Suzuki motors and Suzuki's industry best warranty. Smith Marine also buys quality pre-owned boats with consignments and trade-ins on the res in Ridgeland and at smithmarinesales.com.
Green's Tire and Auto on Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland can do it all. Is your check engine light on? Take it to Green's. Air not blowing cold anymore? Take it to Green's. Squeaky brakes, bald tires, misaligned front end? Take it to Green's. Green's Tire and Auto can do it all. Your car can operate just like new again when you take it to Green's. Green's Tire and Auto, Ridgewood Road in Ridgeland. Take it to Green's. 601-957-0201.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
Hey everybody, it's John at Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade Show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2, guntactical.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on a Tuesday here on the Chip Matthews program. Remember, we have a 9 o'clock show today, and then we're also filling in for the Jameson Haygood show. So we're going to talk some politics today. We're going to talk about some local politics and some elections and some people that you need to get out and vote. Absentee voting is open now, and you can vote Saturday also till noon. So remember that. But make plans to go vote because people, it is so important to go vote. And right now in Canton, it's time and opportunity. Same for everywhere in Madison County and even Jackson. You know, Jackson's going to get the benefits of some of these places because there's just not enough housing in the area. And these people are coming into town. You got all these people out there at the mega site that are creating opportunity for our future, and they're going to pay, and there's going to be a lot of money, and there's going to be more people going to schools and everything. And we got to build more schools. We got to build more everything. And so we need to get ahead of that and get on the thing. Good morning, Jimmy Rogers. Good morning, Dawn. I was going to come out there yesterday. And then, of course, Timothy Jenkins is right there. Timothy Jenkins is online watching. Y'all all hit the like button and the love button, and we'll keep up with you. But Timothy Jenkins yesterday, Timothy Jenkins with the tree service and car repair. Now, last few days I've had some car issues with tires, and I was buying new tires, and then the donut blew out yesterday in the wrong place in Jackson. That would be the Waterworks curve. Now, if you've ever been in the Waterworks curve, when there's a little bit of traffic, it's not a safe place to be. I'd like to thank the people from Key Construction who came by and checked on me and different people. But the problem was I had the donut on the car because we were waiting on a tire to come in for the tire. And I thank everybody at Gleason Tires for taking care of me on the road with my tires and everything. But I didn't have a spare with me. And then I had a jack that was faulty. It fell 3 times. So Timothy Jenkins to the rescue, just like he did the night before, or 2 nights before on the spillway for me. Good morning, Joe Lynn and Debbie Bragansky. Okay, so let's get back to this time and opportunity. Time and opportunity. Right now, the time is now for someone like myself to take over in Canton. Nothing against Tim Taylor. But I have opened businesses and I have connections with business people that will come and open small businesses in Canton. Because the more people we get out at the mega site and the more people going to work, traveling toward Canton, which once again, on that subject, you know, MDOT years ago, good morning, Lloyd Travis, MDOT should have already made the roads to Canton 5 lanes a long time ago. That's why there's a traffic jam every morning. If somebody gets messed up, and then that Gluckstadt merging section is just awful. It's like a attempt in I don't know what they were thinking when they made those merging lanes and all. But there are issues that need to be handled. And we got to do better. And so in Canton, you're going to have all these people coming to work. And unless we build houses north of Canton, north of the 119 exit, these people are going to be traveling through Gluckstadt and through Madison and Ridgeland and from Jackson to go to work. And these are labor jobs. These are that pay well. I mean, there's 100 contractors at the mega site. 100 separate contractors, and in their crews, there'll be, anywhere from 10 to 20 to 100 in their group working on the mega site. Now, hearing all kind of logistic stories from some of those guys where they're saying things like, where are we going to get the water? I go, what do you mean, where are we going to get the water? He goes, you should be building recyclers, but this location is going to use the water, and then you can't drink the water. I'm like, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me we're missing something important. If you could recycle the water, it would keep the stuff cool, because this thing's going to take a giant amount of electricity to run. But these I guess servers have to be cooled, and they'll be water cooled. So that's interesting to know and interesting to learn. I'm sure that we're way ahead of that program on fixing that. But I mean, these are things that if we're going to recycle water, I mean, y'all know that water around here has had issues over the last few years, that we can't get water, and water has been a problem. And we have water in places that's too high, like in Canton, it floods. Yazoo City, look at that flood. Now, if we can corral all that water someplace to where they can use it to cool those things, that would be a good thing. I guess that's part of the watershed project. But every project that we start to solve water problems, we as local governments mismanage it. That's just the fact. I mean, the supervisors in Madison County are handling the money for the flooding in Canton, and I just hope they handle the problem rather than kick it down the road and continue to flood. I mean, y'all, do you realize that all the buildup in South Madison County makes water flow north to Canton? Yeah, I mean, it's progress, but not enough planning was done to make sure that water was dispersed. Because y'all, Gluckstadt was literally swampland on 51 for years. And so now that it's all filled in dirt, and there's businesses there, and there are houses there, and this, that, and the other, that water is only coming one way. It's coming toward us in Canton. And I will never, ever understand the whole layout. And I'm going to sit down and talk to some people that are quite older than me and ask them what was the plan. Because, originally where the Levi plant is, that was the Canton Industrial Park. All of that was Canton Industrial Park, and the city of Canton put in all the infrastructure there and they put in fire hydrants from Canton to that area of Gluckstadt for them to take that into the Canton area. And then, of course, the Democratic leadership that we currently have in Canton didn't try to attempt to take what we should have been able to take easily in the annexation area. They went and jumped the highway and started working on getting that side across from Germantown. And they were successful in getting that in the apartment complex that is in question in court tomorrow on whether or not it was added to the rolls. They worked so hard to get this area so that they would have that apartment complex and that voting block at that one location. And then they didn't take care of putting it in the poll books. I don't understand the game they're playing, what they're up to, but they're in court they were supposed to be in court today. They moved it to tomorrow, and they didn't add those people to the poll book. Now, they are added to the voter rolls in Mississippi. Do not understand. If you if you get in to vote, you get in to vote. But the poll books, which were being handled by the county and the city, they somehow with two election officials, one from Hinds County and one from Madison County, that are elected election commissioners from both counties. Okay. And they act like they didn't know what was supposed to be in the book. One of them was even acting as the clerk for a little while and didn't know. Then, of course, Truly said, "Oh, I don't know anything about it." Truly, since 1972, you hadn't said, "I don't know about anything" ever in your life, because you know everything. Anytime there's something to be said, you know everything. And so for you to say that on the stand a few weeks ago, that's a lie. But we know that's what you do. We know that's what you do, allegedly. But the truth of the matter is, it's time and opportunity in Canton. We have to put somebody in office, which is me, is the way I see it. I mean, I'm sure Tim feels it differently, but I can make those connections to where every weekend in Canton, and we'll start with a few of them, but we're going to get them all going, and it will look just like the Christmas festival. It'll look just like Canton during the flea market. It's not that hard. People want to come to Canton. But when you come to Canton and there's nothing open on the square and there's nothing in the buildings, there's nothing to do. We have one of the best areas in town that we got people like Elmore James. Some of y'all don't know who Elmore James is. You're going, who's that? Well, he wrote The Sky's Crying, Whipping Post, various songs like that. He was instrumental in the electric guitar, slide on an electric guitar from Canton. Blues people come to town, and all we really have is a plaque to see. The old television, there was a television repair shop across from my grandfather's store on Hickory Street, where he used to practice on. He'd take the TVs and put all the speakers together, and that's where he was inventing this sound and this, that, and the other. That's what was going on in Canton back in the day. So we've got time and opportunity to help Canton in this election, and it's so important that we rebuild that community while there's all this money coming in and all these people around that are going to be coming to town looking for something to do. And if we don't present ourselves, it'll be just like when Nissan came to Canton and everybody, I mean, Gladstad built up nicely. Y'all, but Gladstad's getting full. So is Madison, so is Ridgeland. Canton you can't get out of the way of what's coming. You just can't get out of the way. So you've got to fix it. And we have a proud town. We all love it. We love our area. We love to walk the streets, this, that, and the other. We've got to get Canton into that mode. And we got to do that in Jackson. The same way we're doing it in Canton is what you got to do in the individual communities inside each ward in Jackson. You got to break it apart to put it back together. So you got to find where you can make your stand. And of course, all the housing that is close to the mega site or even the new Ridgeland site that'll be built. Those people are going to there's going to be jobs galore, and there's going to be people coming to town. And if they're not from Mississippi, when they come here, they don't understand that we're used to driving 15, 20 miles for a job if you're from out of town. Because that's the only way, because there's no jobs in the small towns. We drive them all up. So we have a chance to rebuild the whole central Mississippi area to be a place where you can live and grow and things will get better. And time and opportunity is now. And we have to take advantage of that and put the right people in office. Let's take a break and we'll be right back here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB.
to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
I am your host, Chip Matthews, on a Tuesday morning here on WYAB. If you got something on your mind, you want to call in about 601-879-0002. Donnie Owl chimes in. Good morning to you. There are laws already on the books to help clean up Canton. Strong leadership can make that happen. Yes, there are laws on the books. And I mean, it's so easy to enforce a law and instead of making a new one. I mean, that's what we see happening in Washington. That's what we see happening in Jackson at the Capitol. I mean, laws on the book. Did you know there's a law on the books in Canton that says your butt crack can't show? Did you know that? That was put in 8 years ago. Vicki McNeil, the former police chief and alderman and person who was arrested for voter fraud, not voter fraud. Yeah, voter fraud, and pled guilty and resigned. But she had that on the books. And we're not going to see that. No hanging pants. Now, of course, if they're enforcing that law, we could rebuild the whole town. Yes, we could take Canton and all the gold in the world would be coming into our city, and we could do whatever we want to. But we have the gold coming from the mega site, but there would have already been more gold there than you could have imagined if they had enforced that law. And of course, there's others on the books that we need to take care and look at. There's probably a law against shooting and riding around the town with a gun shooting. We can enforce that law. And then, of course, you know, you can enforce the speeding and the running the red lights. But that just seems to be the norm everywhere now in central Mississippi, especially in Hinds County and Madison County, that when you get to a red light, when the light changes, you should count to 3 before you even think about going, because somebody's going to come barreling through. On the square in Canton, coming through, that red light's on the square, and the buildings are blocking your view. They right on through. And they act like, well, we need to get cameras. We need to get cameras where we can keep up with it, and we can get these people some tickets. Just like the murders, if we had cameras, we'd have the evidence. No, you wouldn't. Because they say that a lot of these people that are committing the crimes in Canton are related to the people that run the city of Canton. So that, you know, are you going to tell on your cousin? Are you going to tell on your uncle? You know, that's it. That's the culture of what has occurred in Canton. And we need to break away from that. We need to hold people accountable. When you don't even hold your own family members accountable for crimes that they're doing outside the home, that you need to hold them accountable, because they are the rot that is going on in the city. It's the rot that makes you have to live in fear of everything going on. You fear of gunfire every night in Canton and Jackson. I mean, and that's because you won't. I mean, it's bad to say we need a snitch. But yeah, that's what we got to do. In order to be safe for the future, you know, we have to snitch on the major crimes. Okay, minor crimes. Somebody forgot to cut their yard this week, and you're going to turn them in. That's kind of wrong. And I kind of put that on the city crews that drive through that are supposed to keep up with writing tickets for people or reminding them that if you don't cut your yard, that the city will come cut your yard and bring you a bill. That's something else. But not being able to keep up with the murders, not being able to keep up with the physical crimes on people, not the people armed robberies, all of that, the carjackings, that's what we have to focus on. And until, you know, to think that we pay for a COO in Canton who doesn't know where the POs come from, the purchase orders for different things, she's the COO. And she's worthless. She's not necessary. The mayor should be doing that job. But the COO, I mean, that's another officer on the street that we are missing. And I'm scared to find out the salary is 2 officers on the street. Mismanagement of the funds at the city hall level, and not the wherewithal to understand. I was in the meeting yesterday and I'm going, y'all are talking about things that are just administratively simple. Purchase orders, inventory of knowing where all your equipment is, personnel. These are personnel matters, but they're easily solved. And then you're watching one guy. Yeah, we pay for a website in Canton that we don't use because nobody knows how to work it. Then they got a new person that's going to start working it, and they're trying to put all that in place 8 weeks before a new person takes office. A new administration comes in, and the person said, well, I can go to they were saying, Truly goes, well, we can send you to a class to teach you how to do this. Look, we're paying somebody to keep up our site. And then when you pay for that, you pay for updates and this, that, and the other on the site. That's part of your contract. And it seems like people don't know the simple ins and outs of a contract. People don't know who signs the contract. Well, in Canton, the Board of Aldermen would agree. They would approve a contract, and then the mayor should sign it. And he should know what's in it because it's his responsibility to make sure that the contract is complete and that they're going to do it. And if there's a problem with the contract, he would take it back to the board and say, this and this and this is wrong. Same thing in Jackson with Chokeway. You're supposed to work together, and you're supposed to take the contract and everybody go through it and everybody know everything. But when people are spending money and you're arguing about a purchase order for $270, I'd hate to see the other purchase orders and who administers the purchase orders. Somebody said, told me, well, if you're the department head, you can do your own purchase orders. No, you should always request them from one location. They should come out of one checkbook in Canton. Good morning, Russell McGuffey. Where are you playing this weekend? Russell McGuffey's in a little band. Not from Texas, from Mississippi. But anyway, who does the Canton website? I'm not sure. I was listening to everybody argue about who's going to do it in the future and who's not done it in the past. I'm not going to get into that because I could not understand, and so I can't talk about that. I just don't know. But we pay entirely too much for it. And the new deal that we have, it'll be cheaper. It'll be cheaper. But it won't be any better because they were talking about, well, we're going to take a course and we're going to learn how to update it ourselves. No. That's not the way it works. Then you wind up with too many administrators, too many people involved, and too many people doing with it. He's cutting trees this weekend. Interesting. But we got to do better on fixing our cities. Time and opportunity is now. Time and opportunity in Canton and in Jackson and in Ridgeland and Madison as the super sites are being developed and coming in. Y'all don't realize the wealth that is coming our way. billion-dollar projects, massive amounts of money. They're coming here, and they got to have power and they got to have water. And they've got to have tons of power and tons of water to succeed. And then also they'll bring people, and people will need jobs. And then the people will need places to spend their money after they get these jobs. So if you're thinking about business growth in this area, small business growth, it's going to be tremendous. Make sure we have the right leaders in place to do that. So get out and vote, get out and vote, get out and vote. That's all I can tell you. Let's take a break here, and we'll be back to Land the Plane. And remember, I'll be on from 9 till noon today. So we'll talk about these subjects all day long. 601-879-0002, and we'll get into more of the problems going on in the world today, right here on WYAB. Today, right here on WYAB.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB. If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
At Johnny's Pizza House, we consider our customers like family, so we spend the extra time needed to put more love into making our pizza. From our dough made fresh daily to fresh, never frozen ingredients, Johnny's Pizza House takes pride in knowing that what we serve our customers isn't just pizza. It's a slice of home in every single bite. Great traditions start with great food and great people. Start your tradition today with Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef. We are grass-fed and grass-finished beef. No hormones, no antibiotics, no grain, no broad spraying of herbicides or pesticides. And never, I mean never, do we use mRNA vaccines. We are 100% local and 100% Mississippi. Our calves are born in Mississippi, raised on Stonington Farm, and processed in Mississippi. Contact us at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. We are the grass-fed difference.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection. I've been selling real estate now for well over 30 years, and I typically use Chadwick Home Inspectors. And Chad has done many, many home inspections for me.
They are pretty much from roof to foundation. Most people are surprised at just how thorough these home inspections can be. Been working with Rita almost a decade now. Very rarely does she let a deal fall apart. She can usually find a way to negotiate where both parties are satisfied.
RitaJensen.net. Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality cars, trucks, and SUVs. Priced to fit your budget. At Pops Auto, we specialize in trucks. From four-wheel drives to diesels, our satisfied repeat buyers know Pops has one of the largest truck inventories for any independent dealer, period. Browse Pops inventory at popsautosalesllc.com and get pre-approved for a zero down payment with approved credit. With warranties and service contracts available. Pops Auto Sales, your home for trucks. Highway 49 South in Florence.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house is frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Here we are on the final segment here on a Tuesday here on WYAB. Yes, remember, we're going to be going a deep dive into the politics of what's going on from 9 till noon today. And I want y'all to call in. And if you're a politician and you're running for office, please take the opportunity to call in and talk, or even call me up and, heck, come on by. You can sit in with me, because we're going to talk politics, and we're going to talk about the time and opportunity that is upon us now. Good morning, BJ McKay, Sam Brady, Jamie Mitchell, Johnny Martin, Lloyd Travis, Joe Lynn, Jimmy Rogers. I'm glad to see you're all here. Donna Yowell. People, people, we got to get out and vote. If you know somebody that needs to go vote, put them in the car and take them to go vote. There ain't no need to go vote. The need needs to be there. I mean, 80% of the people in our area did not vote. So when you're around 10 people, you got 10 people lying that they vote, or 8 of them are lying, 2 of them actually vote. So get out and find people and take them to vote. And if they're voting for me, make sure you carry them twice. But I'm just kidding. We've got to get out and vote. We got to get out. Kim Wade has been on the radio for 22 decades. That sounds better. 2 decades. And he's talking about, and he understands the problems in Jackson better than most. And he's got a plan. And the plan is you got to divide and conquer. Yes, it's overwhelming at times. Yes, it's overwhelming. And like people ask me about Canton, and we're going to go through that this morning. I've got some people coming in. We're going to talk about it. Why do you think you can do it? Why do you think you can rebuild the town? Why do you? It's because it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Somebody has to make the hard decisions. Somebody has to make the unpopular decisions. But, you know, we need to be taking care of our citizens. We need to feel safe at night. And we need to take advantage of the growth and opportunity that is coming with the new mega site and all the money that's coming into the state. We don't, you know, we announced it and everybody announced it, and then everybody goes underground, and then you'll have all these businessmen when it all starts popping. You know, I should have gone and done this back when all this was going, and that land was $2 an acre, and now it's worth $1 million an acre. Well, that's what we're talking about here. The things to increase the value of the community in which we live in. That comes with a clean community. That comes with one that doesn't flood. All the problems have to be solved as you get ready for doing this. I mean, if you look at Canton from the railroad tracks to the square, that's going to flood, every flood. And, you know, flooding leads to sewage overruns in places. So it's not safe water to walk into. It's not this, that, and the other. It floods over by my house, but, you know, it's a big ditch, but the water's coming from somewhere else. The ditch is big enough to handle the water. The ditch is not, the yards are not big enough to handle the water that's in the yards that are coming from another place. And it drainage problems all over town. Some people say, well, the culverts are half filled with dirt. Well, that's because for 40 years, we hadn't had anybody doing anything in Canton. We got to do something. We've got to get all these departments doing what they need to do. It's just going to be time consuming. Yard to yard, house to house, everything's got to be done. And I plan on taking on that task and getting it done. That's the goal. So all of you out there, think about those things in your area, in your neighborhood, when you're electing your councilman and your mayor in Jackson. Think about all the little things that are not done. And your yard, this, that, the other. Because if you get together and turn in a list, maybe they can check some things off. Maybe they can fix some things in your area. But they don't have a list, and they're not good at looking. You know, look, the elected leaders aren't good at looking for work that needs to be done. They want you to report it to them. So start loading them down. Don't just make phone calls. Make a list. And have your neighborhood people on one street sign that list and say, we need this, this, this. We got overhanging trees. We got this. We got some dead trees that don't belong to anybody. Put all that together and carry it to your person that you believe in should be mayor, and take it to the person you believe should be your representative on the city council. And let's start working to fixing the problem. And then make that list public to people on websites, to news agencies, this, that, and the other, where they know that you see what's going on. And, you know, calling up after the couch has been thrown in somebody's front yard, that's too late. We got to get ahead of that. We got to get to where when we see people driving around with stuff in the back of their car in your neighborhood and they're driving slow like they're looking to dump it somewhere, you need to go ahead and just report it to the police. But then again, we got to have more police. We got to have more of that. We got to cut some things. We got to make some things happen to where we can get what we need happening for all the people. Remember, coming up at 7 o'clock, it is the one, the only Clay Edwards Show right here on WYAB. And then this afternoon at 4 p.m., Radio Strongman, the man that I believe should be the mayor of Jackson. He's been talking about it for 21 years. It's time for him to get out there and do it and not just talk about it. That's the way I see it. And the only way you can do it and not talk about it is to get the votes and get elected. And you people in Jackson need to realize that Kim Wade is your answer, period. You know, I don't care what anybody else says. That's what you need. You need some pride in what you're doing, and you need to go out and get the man who's been talking it and make him put up or shut up. That's basically it. Y'all will ruin his radio show if y'all put him in office and he can't get it done. But I know he can, and I feel confident in that. And we'll see you around. I'll be back from 9 to noon. Y'all be back. I'm sorry about the phone calls. We'll get back to you. Clay's next.